chief's support and have a period of amnesty, and this was entirely their decision, where people could hand in snares without going to the police. We had an anonymous drop-off, and all these snares that you see here were actually from the anonymous drop-off, where people could hand them in before we would do our anti-poaching seriously. But the truth is that people who are hungry cannot do conservation. And if we are going to do conservation in Niassa, then we have to solve issues of food security and alternative protein sources. If we go out and catch all the bushmeat poachers, then we have to find an alternative to bushmeat. And that's what we're doing at the moment, and this is on Agostino's terms of reference. This is his major job in the next 3 years. We'll be looking at ways for alternative protein sources and increasing food security. Domestic, looking at improving goat corrals, chicken vaccinations, improving guinea fowl, and at the moment I'm looking at whether we can breed rabbits. We've also just sent a team of 5, 3 from our team and 2 farmers from a nearby village to a conservation agriculture course that is run locally, and they'll be setting up some fields in their villages to see if we can increase the amount of food that they can produce and the amount of time that they can do it. We live in a very simple camp in Niassa, which we really love. It hasn't changed since I was last year. Everyone still asks me if I live in a tree. I still do. I live on a bamboo platform under a sausage tree. It's a wonderful place to sleep, and I would recommend it to anyone. It's just a mozzie dome net. That's my office. It's very open air. I have a great view. But we did realize that we needed to scale up. We needed to provide a place for Agostino. We needed to keep our staff. Looking after your staff is a very good way to keep them. And so we took a very big decision. Keith and I decided to tender for the concession. They have an open tender process, which has been our intensive study area for 10 years. We put in the tender application, and we were recently awarded a 25-year lease on a 300 square mile area inside the reserve. And this meant that we have secured our project, and we also are able to build an environmental and skills training center because we have the security of land tenure. And what we've also done is that we have made the community who live inside this area of 2,000 people our legal partners. They are 25% shareholding, and we are the not-for-profit is the other 75%. It's going to take them some time to be able to understand what this means, but we believe this is the future for conservation. The reserve management has also indicated to us that if we can get this to work, then this is a model that they would be encouraged to look at for the rest of the reserve. It is a huge challenge. It's very intimidating. It's full of fun, but we're learning as we go. It requires a lot of meetings and a lot of talking, understanding issues, because when you have partners, it means that you have both rights and responsibilities. And most of all, we need to take people out so that they can meet lions face to face.